Hello, lovelies. Welcome back to You Are Immeasurable. Today, we're walking boldly into the shadows and going where the dragons dwell and where the truth of your power lie. As many of you already know, we're on the cusp of Lionsgate. And Lionsgate is a time drenched in cosmic fire, awakening, and remembrance. But I want to be clear about this. We're not doing some new age portal pep talk. Absolutely not. And here's why. Because truthfully, most of what we've been taught or told about power isn't the truth. So today we're going to talk about drag. We're going to talk about the shadow. And most importantly, let's talk about the reclamation that doesn't need your perfection, that doesn't need your performance. And it most certainly doesn't need you constantly having to prove who you are, what you can do, and where your true power and magic comes from. So go ahead, grab your drink, and let's get started. Hello, lovelies. Welcome back to season 4 of the You Are Immeasurable podcast. I'm Tonesha Hyde, your host, your divine business alchemist, energy healer, your sacred mirror and confidence agitator, and sometimes I'm even gonna be your warrior mystic for this journey back to the most unapologetic version of yourself. For this season, we're coming with a whole new frequency. We're going to be going deeper into richer truths, soul-rooted conversations, and fearless reclamations. We're definitely going to stay anchored in divine alignment, but this time we're also going to be pulling power from our shadows. We're going to be healing through our intuition. We're going to be tapping into ancestral wisdom and being sure to honor our sacred rage. Now, a little bit of truth. The journey back to yourself isn't always pretty, but it absolutely is powerful. So during this season, we're going to navigate the dark feminine. We're going to reclaim the parts of yourself that you've been taught to fear, and we're going to realign your life and your business from the inside out. So I want you to expect some raw solo transmissions, some sacred storytelling, and also some unfiltered guest conversations from those who are doing the work and also living boldly in their truth. Now, realignment isn't just medicine for you, it's also for me. So for this season, our episodes are going to now drop on Wednesday. And the reason behind that is so that you have that midweek reminder that you are still magic. You're still worthy. And as always, you are immeasurable. So whether you're sipping tea, coffee, or maybe even a glass of wine under the moonlight, raise it high and let's toast to healing, to expansion, and to becoming the fiercest, most authentic version of you. Are you ready? Let's get into it. So I want to start here today. Many of us have been conditioned to believe that power is something that we have to achieve. It's something that has to be worked for, something that we have to prove or attain according to someone else's rating or measurement or someone else's assignment of our worthiness. But regardless of all of that, real power, and I'm talking divine power, ancestral power, that kind of power is inherited. And it's inherited through your blood. It's in your bloodline. It's in your womb. And it's in your fire. You were born with it. And yes, many of us, we were taught that it's something that we had to fear, or we were taught to suppress it, ignore it. And even when we were allowed to mention it or show it, we had to dress it up, right? Make it pretty, make it softer than it was meant to be in order for us to be accepted, in order for us to be allowed to even let that little bit of who we truly are out. And the main thing that I don't like about all of that foolishness is that we start suppressing, and then all of that power, all of that essence of us begins to only live in the shadow. But great news, that's where the dragons come in. And we have to remember that in nearly every culture worldwide, dragons are gatekeepers. gatekeepers of treasure. And I know in movies and in stories and in books, especially when it comes to fairy tales and stories for children, it usually is all about just gold and jewels and money. But what the dragons truly guard and truly protect is truth. It's sovereignty and it's identity. And we know dragons usually they live in caves. They live in the shadows. They inhabit the places that we've been told we shouldn't go, or we were dared to go, or just flat out told that's not where you want to be. You shouldn't want to go there, or you don't want to be there. But if you're someone that is working toward reclaiming your fire, in order to do that, you have to face your dragons. Because otherwise, you're not reclaiming anything. You're just putting on a performance. Your dragons will guard your sacred rage. They're going to guard your unmet potential. They're going to keep those ancestral memories. And the treasure, that is your raw, untamed divinity that they're watching over protectively. So in order to reclaim your power, you must go to where it's hidden. And it's hidden there with the dragons in the darkness for your protection, not as a punishment, which is how many people see their shadow self. The dragons do not come to steal your power. What your dragon's been doing, she's been keeping it safe for you when you were ready or when you are ready. And so during this time of the year, when we're in the Lionsgate energy, when we're stepping into the Lionsgate portal, we have to understand it's not just about manifestation. It's actually more about magnification. Whatever you got going on is going to be magnified or amplified during this time, whichever side of the fence you're on, whichever side is the truest, where you have placed the most of your energy. That's what's going to be amplified at this time. So understand that means that if you're operating from fear, from scarcity, from hustle, then during this time, the portal's going to amplify that. But if you're rooted in truth, if you're aligned with your purpose, and if you're honoring your inner fire, that is what's going to be magnified. So I want you to think about that and really, really get clear on which side of this thing am I on? Because during this time, you want to unleash the most powerful and authentic version of you. So I want you to take stock or inventory on where you are right now. And I want to encourage you to stop trying to earn your worth. I want you to stop apologizing for your knowing. And I most certainly want you to stop playing small to be accepted. What I would love for you to tap into, instead of the things that I just mentioned, is the reclamation of the throne that you inherited through your bloodline, to the sovereignty, the power, the divinity that's in your bones. I want you to tap into how to speak your truth without diluting your voice. And I want you to begin to see that when you enter into the shadows, it's not a punishment, but it's an initiation. This is where you find the truest essence of yourself. You are the answer to the prayers that your ancestors whispered when they weren't allowed to speak. So with that in mind, you reclaiming your sovereignty, your power, the things that have been hidden and suppressed in your shadow, this reclamation is more than just about you specifically. Because every time you embody your power and stand in it unapologetically, you're breaking the generational chains. You're restoring the balance to your lineage. And you are becoming the embodiment of everything that your ancestors felt, fought for, prayed for, struggled for. And keep in mind that as you tap into that ancestral dragon within, you realize dragons don't beg. They don't. But what they do is burn away illusion, burn away lies, and bring forth and give birth to new worlds. So these are the things that I want you to keep yourself mindful of this week. I want you to stop feeling like you have to earn what was already yours, what you were born with. I want you to start remembering the truth the authenticity, and the power that you were born with. I want you to stop with the performances and instead start reclaiming. Stop fearing your shadows and start befriending your dragons. You were born with this power. It's already in you. It's always been yours. And now it's time for you to take it back. And remember that no matter what, you are immeasurable. You are sacred. You are the fire, the flame, and the one that lights the torch. Take that in. Sit with that. Feel it. Allow it to flow through you because it's time. It's time for us to embody. It's time for us to become emboldened. And it's time for us to ride together. Until next time, cheers to your transformation. Thank you for joining me for another episode of the You Are Immeasurable podcast. My prayer is that something in today's conversation sparked a remembering or a shift and maybe a softening in your soul. If you love this episode, please share it with someone who also needs this medicine. And make sure you're following the show so that you never miss a new activation. Also, come connect with me on Instagram, Facebook, or even TikTok. My handle on all social media platforms is @Agitator Hyde. Also, I want you to know that my DMs are always open if you want to go deeper, if you have questions, or you just want to share what listening to the podcast has unfolded for you. Beyond anything, I want you to remember that your power, your path, and your purpose are already within you. You are not broken. You're blossoming. You are becoming, and you are immeasurable. So until next time, be well, stay bold, and always stay true to the divine within you.